The incredible transformation of Melania Trump. Glamorous and entirely devoted to her husband and his success, Mrs. Trump has been cast as a kind of retro presidential spouse, a modern day Jackie Kennedy, mother, executive, philanthropist, and unwavering partner in chief. She is one of the most talked about people in the world. And, from her controversial fashion choices to her rules within the White House walls, she never fails to make viral news. On January 20, 2017, she became the First Lady of the United States of America. And now, on January 2021, she has to leave the White House. But today we're here to talk about her transformation. So let's begin. From Slovenia to New York. Mrs. Trump was born Melania in Sevenica, a small town about an hour's drive from Slovenia's capital, Ljubljana, to a relatively well-off family. Her father, Victor, worked from the major of nearby Hranstik before becoming a successful car salesman. Her mother, Amelia, designed prints for a fashion brand. I think I can say was too small for her. Childhood friend Mirjana Jelenic, short with the AP. Even as a child she dreamed of moving, even saying that her favorite subject in school was geography. Melania studied design and architecture in Ljubljana. At 18, she signed with a modeling agency in Milan and began flying around Europe and the USA, appearing in high-profile ad campaigns. Fashion was her passion at a young age. I always liked beauty and fashion. My mom was in fashion business. I was 5 years old when I did my first catwalk, she recalled. My mom loved fashion. We loved to travel and go to Italy and Paris. I was always very tall and skinny. Sometimes I was teased, but I never embarrassed. I always liked myself. I knew what I wanted to do. I found my passion at such an early age. It helped my confidence. Said in an interview with Parenting magazine. Thanks to her parents' hard work, she could participate in school gymnastics and travel from Austria to Italy to ski during winter. Her artistic side was cultivated on clothing. She liked to make scraps by herself and then her mother and her sister will sew them for her. Modeling at age of 16. Melania was discovered by photographer Stein Jerko at the age of 16 in 1987. At the time, she was attending the Secondary School of Design and Photography in Ljubljana, the non-Slovenian capital, and was living in an apartment purchased by her father. School was the most important thing for her, Jerko told to GQ. According to GQ, Jerko taught Trump how to pose and photographed her just a few weeks after their first encounter. Without shoes. I didn't have shoes for her because she had very big feet. The other models had smaller feet. Jerko remembered in the GQ interview, but he assured, when you live on big feet, you live big. 18 years old Melania signed with a model agency in Milan and she dropped out of architecture school. Melania made to New York City. Thanks to Paolo Zampoli, her agent, she arrived to New York City. She signed a modeling contract and also received the American visa. Facing this now life, she was flustered of not succeeding. She wasn't working every day. She was going to casting every day and not succeeding. She said things were very different in Europe, that she had been more successful. Trump's former roommate, Matthew, at 9, continually explaining. She aired frustration over the work issue. Melania refused Donald Trump for the first time. I was no starstruck. Melania Trump confided to GQ about the first time she met Donald Trump. She had been invited to a New York City party at the Kit Kat Club by Zampoli. It was New York Fashion Week in 1998 and 28-year-old model was about to meet another Zampoli invited, Donald Trump. For them, it wasn't love at the first sight. She told GQ, "If I give him my number, I'm just one of the women he calls. I wanted to see him, what his intention. It tells you a lot from a man what kind of number he gives you. He gave me all of his numbers. She became the Mrs. Trump. Their wedding reception. They were engaged in January 22, 2005. The Hollywood Reporter clocked the wedding gown's train at 30 feet and the veil at 60 feet, saying the bride could barely walk in the nearly 300 feet of rouge stain. It was so spectacular. It landed the cover of Vogue. Mr. Trump purchased his wife 12-carat emerald-cut Lawrence Graf diamond ring at $1.5 million. He could later replace his Penny Pebble with a 25-carat on their 10th anniversary, Harper's Bazaar reported. She never hired a nanny for her son. Melania's son was born in March 2006. She raised her son herself, assuming a traditional mothering role without needing nannies, while she was having a chief and an assistant at a time. It is so important to have good listening skills. I don't pass my thoughts or likes or dislikes. I want him to grow to be his own person. I think it's important to give a child room to make mistakes in order to learn, shared Melania with parenting. Melania Trump didn't choose politics. Melania Trump decided to keep a low profile during her husband's campaign, only appearing sometimes in interviews and social media. Even after Trump was elected, Melania continues to lie low in order to reportedly keep Barron enrolled in his school for the rest of 2017 school year. The First Lady and her son waited to move into the White House until June 2017, and even in 2019, she was continued to shield Barron as well as herself from the spotlight. Policies are my husband's job. Her one big moment of the 2016 campaign came when she took center stage on the first day of the Republican National Convention in July for the traditional spousal speech, and it did not go well. Commentators quickly noticed remarkable similarities with Michelle Obama's convention speech in 2008, and the ensuing plagiarism scandal overshadowed what she had to say. In 2018, she generated huge controversy after wearing a jacket with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" written on the back on a trip to Migrant Child Detention Center. It was for the people and for the left-wing media who are criticizing me, she later told to ABC News. I want to show them I don't care. Despite these incidents, she remains something of an unknown quantity compared with the proceeders. According to GQ, she does advise her husband, but it's tight-lipped about what that consists in. Nobody knows and nobody will ever know, she said, because that's between me and my husband. Melania Trump wants a better world. Since marrying Donald Trump in 2005, Melania Trump has taken on various philanthropic causes both in New York and beyond. She's been involved with the Martha Graham Dance Company, the Police Athletic League, the Boys Club of New York, the American Red Cross, and the Love of Our Children USA. In 2018, Melania Trump embarked on the first solo trip to promote her initiative. As part of her trip, she met with children and their families in Ghana, Malawi, Kenya, and Egypt. Trump has also worked to raise awareness about the opioids epidemic, and he also visited children's hospitals as well as the Microsoft headquarters in an effort to learn about the online safety for children. Melania has become the most famous person in Slovenia. Torta Melania takes pride of place in the display case of a smart patisserie attached to Sevenica's only hotel. Waves of light. Golden chocolates wobble atop an expanse of cream-covered white chocolate mousse, a color scheme chosen in honor to Sevenica's most famous daughter, Melania Trump. For the past 4 years, the people here have leveraged minor international fame to promote their central Slovenian town and its products. But now the Trump presidency is entering its final weeks. We wanted the cake to be elegant, to resemble Melania with gold, because of the Trumps, and white because of the White House, says Nusa Wid, the owner of Slasikarna Patisserie. We wanted to catch the moment and make it great in our own way. The second Melania statue is made of bronze and destined to last longer than the first. The local salami, named in honor of the First Lady, has been tastefully packaged.